Hey guys, I'm in the beautiful city of Halifax in Nova Scotia, Canada. And while here, I'll be staying at the Muir Hotel, a luxury collection hotel by Marriott. I'm on a mission to see the best that the city has to offer in 4 days. And of course, while in Halifax, you can't come here and not go to Peggy's Cove. So I'll be doing that as well. And so without further ado, these are my must-dos in Halifax.
It's only fitting to start at the Halifax Citadel National Historic Site, or simply the Citadel. Overlooking and protecting Halifax Harbour, this star-shaped hilltop fort played an important role in Halifax's founding. Open all year round, come here to see the grounds, barracks, battlements, examples of different guns they used, the Highlanders and Brigade, various buildings like the Signal Post, Guards Room, Engineer's Store, and gunpowder magazines. But really, the best time to come is at noon, where you can experience the 3rd Brigade Royal Artillery work with precision to fire the cannon at noon. Serving thirsty Nova Scotians since before the founding of Canada is Alexander Keith's. Opening its doors over 200 years ago, it's one of the oldest working breweries in North America, looking as it did when it first opened. On the 1-hour tour, you'll learn about the brewery's history, Alexander Keith's legacy, behind the scenes on the brewing process, and finally ending at Stag's Head, the underground cavern beneath the brewery. There's plenty of beer to drink along the way, including their small batch brews, and to close things out, you'll get to enjoy live music as well. Now, if you're a guest of the Muir, you can take advantage of their free city shuttles or walk to Halifax Seaport Farmers Market. Open on weekends only, this is a great place to see locals come together. As North America's largest continuously running market, this is an easy to explore space where you'll see everything from the freshest produce, freshly baked goods, creative brews, delicious sweets, inspiring art pieces, local creations, food to eat if you're hungry, and endless smiles from friendly vendors. A short walk away is a place that's dear to my heart, the Canadian Museum of Immigration at Pier 21. What you might not know is that Halifax was one of the major ports in Canada that accepted countless of immigrants, akin to Ellis Island in the US. It's a place of courage, hope, hardship, and resilience, where Canada was and still is a place of welcoming newcomers. The museum itself is broken into two. One that talks about Pier 21, where on this site, ships used to arrive and process new immigrants. The other is a story about immigration in our country, uncovering its history, scars of the past, and what it means to be an immigrant in Canada. It's an emotional experience to read the personal testimonies and stories written from recent visitors. What you'll like about the museum is their use of audiovisual exhibits and open spaces which make it easy to absorb its powerful messages. It's hard not to be impressed by the Halifax Waterfront. It's the heartbeat of the city where you can't help but be magnetically drawn to it with its fresh breeze and constant conduit of energy. Fully connected by a continuous stretch of boardwalk, the Halifax Harbour Walk stretches all the way from Pier 21 to Casino, Nova Scotia. With the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic, the last Flower-class corvette in the HMCS Sackville, sculptures and art galore, boutique shops, restaurants with enticing patio spaces, quick eats, and top-ranked restaurants such as The Bicycle Thief, classic and innovative ice cream to cool down, and plenty of spaces to just hang out. Fog or sunshine, this is the place to be in Halifax. The newest district of the waterfront is Queen's Mark, that has elevated offerings including the Muir Hotel, incredible restaurants like Peacock Wine Bar, and beautiful art installations such as the Month's Medal that you see all over, which has etched in it the stories, images, and symbols of Nova Scotia's past and present. At its center is a piece called Tidal Beacon that responds to the tides and weather. My favorite is Sail, a sculpture of wire, mesh, and lighting reminiscent of a ghost ship floating on the water. Speaking of being on the water, we think the best way to take advantage of being in the Maritimes is to go sailing on Halifax Harbour with J. Farwell. They have a luxury fleet of sailboats, one is a yacht, and another a catamaran. There's something special about being on the water under the power of the wind and taking in the views of both Halifax, Dartmouth, and George's Island, while soaking in that vitamin C. If this is something that you want to do on your trip to Halifax, make sure to book in advance using the link in the description or scan the QR code. Here's a travel hack. If you're looking for a cheaper way to get on the water, the Halifax ferry has a route that takes you to Dartmouth on the other side of the harbour. It takes just 15 minutes to get over, and it only costs you a few bucks each way. Catch the ferry from the Halifax ferry terminal, and for the best views, head up top. The boat doesn't make any turns, so you can either watch Halifax move away or head to the forward of the ferry to see Dartmouth push into sight. Once you're in Dartmouth, you'll find that it has a character of its own. It seems impossible, but it's got an even more chill vibe here than Halifax, with its quaint cafes, bars galore, noteworthy food joints, shops, and a clear charm of its own. One of those noteworthy eateries is Evan's Seafood, where I'd be remiss to not have lobster roll and seafood chowder at least once on this 4-day trip to Halifax. I'll be honest, this wasn't high up on my list initially, but I was very impressed with the Halifax Public Gardens. Within its 6.5 hectares is a pristine example of what Victorian horticulture planning looks like. In a small space, it neatly packs in a lake, fountain, statues, a bridge, ponds, flower beds, and a huge variety of trees. Depending on the time of year, different flowers may be in bloom, which heightens the beauty of the public gardens. Undoubtedly, the most famous lighthouse in Canada is Peggy's Cove Lighthouse, but the region is known for more than just its famous lighthouse, so it made sense to rent a car from Halifax, here we go, and build my own day road trip along the section of the Nova Scotia Lighthouse Route that follows communities leading in and out of Peggy's Cove. As a photographer, you'll definitely want to make stops along the way where even a foggy day can mean stunning scenes. The first stop along the way is Indian Harbour. You'll see that for my day, Indian Harbour Lighthouse was shrouded by fog. Another major stop is the Swissair Flight 111 Memorial. It's a short walk to the monument and it has a lovely view. Skipping Peggy's Cove for a second, those that are looking for a hike should head out to Polly Cove Trail. It was again quite foggy, but even with my bad knee, I was able to get out to see Balancing Cube Rock and the view from the cliff. The trail continues towards Tanner Hill and Burns Cove, but I decided to turn back because of the poor visibility. When you finally arrive at Peggy's Cove, you see that it's more than just a lighthouse. This is a quaint, still active fishing community, and when you drive in, you realize that it's much larger than you think. Its colorful houses are perched along the wave-washed boulders of the Atlantic and has very much that iconic Canadian Maritimes profile. And new as of 2021 is a viewing deck that's designed to be safe, accessible, and sustainable. Its architecture very much blends into the environment while also providing a great vantage point. That said, the platform doesn't mean you can't go out onto the rocks and get close up to the lighthouse. Just be careful though, as rogue waves are treacherous. This majestic beacon, set on top the sprawling rounded boulders of granite, is simply breathtaking. Regardless of the tourist crowds that you'll find here, it's still stunning no matter what angle you view the lighthouse or time of day. Lastly is the Muir Hotel, which again is part of Marriott's luxury collection and was my home base for 3 nights and is arguably an attraction on its own. The lobby of the hotel, while not large, has an understated modern elegance to it, in a maritime kind of way, and that type of coziness carries through into the room itself, where you'll feel welcomed by modern amenities and minimalist design that will also feel like a luxurious nest perched over with a perfect view of the waterfront. The restaurant Drift is superb, especially for all of the breakfasts I had. They had their own gallery, expansive wellness center including pool and this halotherapy salt room, and last but not least is their speakeasy, BKS, open to guests only. After knocking to get in, it feels like an ultra secret club where double O's go to drink, and they can make any classic drink or one of their heightened specialties like the mesmerizing Red Sky.
There is so much more that I wanted to explore, including the Eastern Shore, but with 4 days, I thought I did a pretty good job seeing the best that the capital of Nova Scotia, Halifax, has to offer. If you want to know my full 4-day Halifax itinerary, where I have the details of how each day broke down, where I ate, and all the travel tips you need to know before you go, make sure to head over to goingawesomeplaces.com. Want to do the same activities that I did? Stay at the Muir, get the best deal on car rentals, and that link to the itinerary. Head down to the description down below or get started with the QR code right here. Trust me guys, you're going to love it here in Halifax. Well, that wraps it up. Thanks for watching and keep going to awesome places.